Great.
Sir, live हो गया है.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome you to this study circle meeting. We have very eminent speaker D.S. Premnath ji, who will take us friends various serious issues which are very relevant for the chartered accountants while auditing any bank branch. He will give us the tips how we can use the Excel to minimize the time, and so that we can complete our bank audit within the time frame which has been prescribed to us. So we are very thankful to the Premnath ji who has accepted the invitation. With these, may I request the Girdhari ji to kindly introduce the learned speaker, please.
Thank you, Navi. Thank you, Nitish ji. Shri Premnath ji Digla, FCA, DISA qualified. He has completed FAFFD concurrent audit course, indirect certificate course. He is Bachelor of Commerce from Andhra Pradesh, Tirupati. He is presently partner in Messrs. C. Ramchandran and Company, Chartered Accountant, Hyderabad. He has handled internal external audit of the banks, PSU companies, income tax representations on the taxation and transfer pricing, design, review, standard operating GST implementation, services of large manufacturing software and infra companies, study, review and audit of internal financial controls of PSU, listed large manufacturing and private limited. He has a vast experience in the bank audit, IS audit, software audit. He has carried out forensic assignments of multinational companies and large manufacturing companies. He is a regular contributor of the articles and he is a regular faculty in the ICICI meetings, Income Tax Department, Staff College, Hyderabad, Commercial Tax Department, CNG Staff Training, Hyderabad, Central Vigilance Office, Digital Forensic, Andhra Bank, Indian Bank Staff Training Institute, Review of Annual Return. He has spoken on various seminars across the country. He is the regular faculty in the concurrent audit certification course of CBS audit. He is a faculty for ISA GS speaker on the various subjects for the members and students' interest. With these words, we welcome Sri Premnath sir with the clappings. Welcome, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nitish, sir. Can I start, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Respected senior members, Nitish, sir, and CPE circle coordinators. At the outset, I thank CPE chapter for study circle for giving me this opportunity. My special thanks to Nitesh More sir for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I'm thankful to sir for every year bank audit. He, without forgetting me, he calls and then takes dates and gives me an opportunity to meet the Western region members continuously. Since 2016 or 17 onwards, Nitesh sir was coordinating and giving me an opportunity to share my knowledge.
It is our pleasure. You have so much vast of experience, and the members of our region, they gather so much knowledge from you. That is very applaudable, and everyone appreciates. Thank you for accepting the invitation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
थोड़ा सा loud होना सर, थोड़ा सा आवाज कम आ रहा है सर.
गिरधारी भैया, यो ठीक है, सारा सिस्टम में कोई इशू है, आवाज ठीक है.
Okay. Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir. Your voice is audible.
Right. Thank you. So I once again thank Nitesh sir for his wonderful coordination of arranging these sessions through various study circles. Uh, just a moment, just a moment. Yeah, thank you. Okay, we'll move into our subject. Today, our core subject is on topic is on audit under CBS. So what is that we are going to do with under audit under CBS? Is we have to understand the CBS. We have to understand the CBS and accordingly give our audit report. And what is that audit reports we are giving? We are giving one audit report under SA 700. And then we are giving IFC controls audit under IFC. We are again giving LFAR report. And further to that, we are also giving LFAR. Then in addition to that, we are also giving various certificates. We are signing various certificates. So to certify and to give audit report and to give IFC and to give LFAR, first of all, we need to understand the CBS. Any certificate can be given only based on the data made available to us. And whether that data is generated from a proper internal control environment, we need to understand. So what I'll be talking about today is we'll be trying to understand the internal controls around CBS with which the data that is generated. And on that data, we need to make certain analytics. And then we can say whether those data, that certificate what you are giving is true and fair or not. So from that point of view, I will start sharing my presentation and screen. Yeah. So I'll start with formal presentation. Yeah. So first of all, this is what one minute. I'm just trying to hide this meeting controls. Yeah. Right. So first thing, we have to understand what we are signing. We are signing a bank balance sheet, branch balance sheet. And that bank, what is that bank? That bank is dealing 273.08 lakh crores of GDP is running through the banks. And the total GDP is running around the banks today, thanks to the digitization and digital payments environment, where now the GDP, most of the GDP is running into the banks, meaning money supply in this country in the banks is today 219.88 lakh crores is the money supplied in the banks. And out of the 219.88 lakh crores, 209.38 lakh crores is the bank credit. So on this is what we are auditing. All the chartered accountants put together, as per the recent statistics, there are 17,000 firms which are carrying out 34,000 and odd branches audit out of the 84,000 or 50,000 or 80,000 branches. Out of that, nearly 40,000 branches are getting audited, carried out by 17,000 firms. all that is giving an opinion on these figures. And out of this, 27.68 lakh crores is the NPA. And on the floor of the parliament, finance minister has stated that 19.33 lakh crores has been written off as NPAs till December last year. So this is what we are auditing. And among all this, there are 3 lakh crores of bank frauds. Meaning, out of 200 lakh crores of money supply, nearly 27, more than 11% of the money is evaporated as NPAs, plus 3 lakhs as bank frauds. And this we are auditing. This we are auditing and saying banks have true and fair balance sheets. This is what we need to understand today. How come 30 lakh, almost 27 lakh crores of NPAs and 19 lakh crores is written off and 3 lakh crores is banking fraud? We cannot just say what is the percentage of 3 lakh crores on 209 lakh crores of money. We cannot say a percentage, it is less than 1%, why do you bother? Or it is not more than 2%, why do you bother? No, it's not the question of percentage of frauds on the total money supply. Even 1 rupee lost is 1 rupee lost. There is no materiality in fraud. There is no materiality in fraud. So what we are trying to look into is what control lapses are making it possible to happen this kind of losses is what we need to understand. Okay, let's come back to the let us come back to CBS audit. Role of chartered accountant in bank audit. There are manual procedures. There are manual procedures and there are IT dependent procedures. Where? On the CBS. And whether the CBS alone is working or there are any other softwares. There are so many other softwares like here. There is fixed asset software, data warehousing. So many softwares are there. Treasury management, cash management, security trading, reconciliations, RTGS, AML, Swift, whatnot. There are so many other softwares are working with core banking systems. And this core banking system has many products and clearing. And all this core banking software and other softwares are on the IT infrastructure. Now, core banking software is working with the help of manual and IT dependent and other softwares with hardware. All these things put together, accounts are generated. IRAC statements, returns, and management information reports are generated. On these two things, we are expressing an opinion as an auditor. Mind it. So I as an auditor, looking at these accounts and statements, why am I using these returns, MIS and reports? Because it is not the balance sheet alone I am signing. I am signing various 45 statements I am signing. Capital adequacy ratio, so many statements I am signing in addition to the balance sheet. And these accounts and these statements are generated not just alone with core banking, with other banking software also it is being used. And what about the controls on these softwares? The controls are manual and IT dependent. Meaning, if the controls in manual and IT dependent processes are weak, The system controls are weak in core banking software. The integration of data with other banking softwares getting integrated into core banking software are not proper. The accounts, what is provided to us, the statements, what are provided to us are not proper. So the audit report also should say it is not proper. Then what is happening today is the manual procedures and IT dependent procedures are not reliable. Is core banking software not reliable? Is other banking and external softwares is not integrated with the core banking software? Is what we need to understand today. So today's topic is, we'll try to take up few areas in the bank. We'll try to take up few areas in the bank, operations in the bank, and let us try to understand the manual procedures and IT dependent procedures. And we'll understand the core banking internal controls. By understanding this, let us understand whether the accounts and statements what are being provided is true and fair or not, and whether we should express true and fair opinion or not. We'll try to understand this. So let us take an example of manual procedures and IT dependent procedures. Let me take you to the practical examples. Yeah. Yeah. Now, I'm just taking you to some customer accounts. I'm just taking you to an account statement. These are, I have sampled accounts here. I have sampled the accounts of a branch size of 600 crores, branch size 600 crores, branch size I have taken, and I have taken out of 600 crores, I have taken 270 crores as a sample loan accounts, which is running into 70 loan accounts. And all the 70 loan account statements I have pasted one below another into 39,000 or 40,000, almost 39,000 rows of data. I have pasted one below another account statements. I have hidden the names. I have hidden the names here for the sake of confidentiality. Otherwise, here, after hiding it, I'm just trying to sort the data now. Now the data is sorted on report, on customer ID wise, I am sorting it. So I have sorted the data on customer ID wise. So all the 70 loan accounts, one below another, is added now. Now, I want to analyze whether the funds have been properly utilized or not. For that, again, I am sorting it on date wise. So once I am sorting it on date wise, if you can observe, one withdrawal of 1.68 crores of rupees has been withdrawn, and the same amount is gone into various accounts on the same day, they are all related parties here. So what are we trying to understand? What are we trying to understand here is, I am trying to understand whether in the banks, the controls with respect to money transfers, the controls with respect to amount transfers within the parties, within the groups, is being prevented or controlled or not, is what we are trying to understand. So we see here the controls are so weak that bank is unable to stop this. The bank is unable to stop the funds that are getting diverted from one account to the another account. This is one issue. Let me also demonstrate the same issue in another case. I'm trying to demonstrate the same issue in another case also. So before that, I am trying to understand whether there are any related parties in the bank. Related, I mean not the Companies Act, not the Companies Act or the Income Tax Act definition or the GST Act definition of related parties. No, I'm saying they are related with a common phone number. They are related with a common phone number or common address or common a PAN number or Aadhaar ID or whatever it is. They are all related through a common variable. So those things I am saying it is a common. Okay, let me just take an example here. These are phone numbers. This is phone number and customer ID. Sorry, phone number and name. And what I'm doing is I've taken the customer master with phone and applying pivot table to find out phone wise customers and sort account per phone number. So now this is a place where I've done a pivot. You can see the pivot table here. I've taken the, let me create again. So I'm taking the phone number here. I'm taking the name here. So I've taken the count of names here. Now this is how the report is generated. What it means is, this is a phone number and this is a name. This is one phone number and one name is there. Like that, how many are there? If you look at, this is a phone number. This phone number is linked to all these accounts. And these are 185 accounts are linked to one phone number. Is this something unusual? Generally, if we look at, it is unusual only. One phone number, why is it linked to so many places? Yeah, okay. Is this a fraud? No. I don't say this is fraud or unusual. Yes, maybe looks like unusual. Then when we have asked the branch, then he said, sir, what is wrong in that? This party is a well-known party in our branch. And he is there in our branch for almost 30 years. He is there in the branch. And it is a group company. So they have partnership firm, they have two private limiteds and proprietary they have. And this is controlled by Abhinandan Gulecha, who is a director. So his phone number is linked to all this. What is wrong in that? We said nothing wrong in that. Let me, then we have asked, what is this account? This is an account. This is an account which has a CC account and so many FD accounts are there. Current account is there. And in many years, it has opened so many FD accounts for margin money. And then they have closed it. So that is the reason why they have all these things. Okay, I said, very good. Then let me just take up these account copies. And the sample account copies have been provided. And now those sample account copies, we have put it in this format. We have put it in this format, that is obtain related party. What is related here? Related here, I say here is common phone number or date of birth or Aadhaar or PAN or other address. So wherever common things are there, we have taken that as a related. Paste the bank accounts one below another after tagging each row with the account number. These are the account numbers. So let me just, now the data is sorted. Now the data is sorted on date wise. Now earlier it was on the account number wise. Now we can see 485 is the loan account. Then below that you will find all the other banks, other accounts. Yeah, here you will find 485 is one account, and then 776 is one account. Similarly, 181 is one account, 981 is one account, 573, 593 is one account, and so on. One below another, all this is pasted. Now sort on date to observe day-wise round tripping. Why we are doing this is, this process is for reporting under LFAR. Okay, let me just take this now. Date, data, sort on date. Now on third, you can see on third, 485, 776, 776 is given. To this account, 25 lakhs has gone. On the third, on 776, 25 lakhs has come here. This has gone out and this, it has come into this account. Then 776 has withdrawn cash of 15 lakhs. And on 5th, 485 is again depositing 14.5 lakhs. There may not be any relation between 15 lakhs and 14.5, but the person who is operating all this is one and same, called the same phone number belonging to this Abhinandan. Straight away, we cannot able to find out, but there is a possibility that the loan amount has been given to the another part, another SB account, and from SB account cash is withdrawn and again cash is deposited bank. Maybe this he is trying to say it is a share contribution, or it is a collection, or it is, or this is where the account is becoming NPA. So he is trying to pull money by taking money from outside. So the point what I am trying to say here is, there are numerous transactions in the banks wherein we have also seen in this particular case, there are numerous transactions among the groups How do I say, how do I know that there are groups? That they are groups, you are able to find out that they are groups with simple common phone number, you are able to say this. Okay, what is the process we are trying to say here? This is the process we are trying to say. Okay. Now the issue what we are discussing here is the controls are weak. Controls are weak with respect to the account transactions that are happening in the system. Is there a risk? If you look at the uh, the CBI cases that are filed, if you look at the CBI cases that are filed, how many cases are filed in the CBI? If you can look at this, these are so many cases in I've taken few examples here. All these cases are filed by the banks with the CBI as a part of various bank loan fraud cases. So if you read all these, the one and only thing that the common things in all these fraud cases is diversion of money through the related parties. You open any fraud case which is filed with the CBI, one and only common thing you will find is that money is transferred to the related parties. The loan amount has been siphoned off. So there are two issues in this. What are the two issues is the internal control mechanism in the banks are not effective. Internal control mechanism, where is it not effective? It is not effective. It is not effective. Manual procedures, IT dependent procedures are not there to control. IT dependent procedures are almost absent in controlling the related party transactions in CBS. Okay, whether there is a facility to control and they are not using it properly, we'll see that. But coming back here, Indian Overseas Bank has filed a case with CBI clearly saying that our internal control weaknesses that allowed misappropriation. Sir, I'm highlighting here, please understand, banks themselves are openly complaining to the CBI that our internal control mechanism is very weak. So when bank itself is saying our internal control mechanism is very weak, how can an auditor give true and fair internal financial controls report? How can auditor give true and fair internal controls when bank itself is saying, not one bank, there are more than 1,500, there are more than 1,500 cases filed by the banks on the banking fraud, which I said 3 lakh crores, no? In all these cases, they are accepting that the internal controls are weak. When banks themselves are saying internal controls are weak, I am saying, how can an auditor give true and fair for the IFC? So let us understand where this root cause for let us understand the root cause for the so-called related party transactions in the CBS. Let us go there. Group. This is a screen through which accounts can be created. This is a screen through which accounts can be created. And there is a place here to identify whether the account is a group or not. Remember, we are saying that the internal controls, is it a system preventive control or a manual procedure? Meaning, should someone manually enter this is a group, or system itself should say that this is a group? Since it will be better if members can interact, if not physically on the video, you can type on the chat for my questions. I'm asking a question. Should you expect the branch officials to mark this as manually a group, belong to a group, or should we expect the system itself should identify this as a group? So Kamal and Rahul are saying, Vijay Kumar, they are all saying manually someone should hide it, enter it. No, Amog is saying system. Very good. Most of them, it is manual. You are saying it is manual, but what I should say is, Rahul is saying it should be system. Now what I am saying is, system itself should identify this as a group. Yes, Sanjay also saying that system should say it is group. System should identify. Sir, how system can identify? How system can identify is, we all know that when the account is created, an application is taken, and in the application there is a date of birth, there is a son of, there is an address, there is email, there is phone number, there is PAN number, there is Aadhaar number. When all these content is there in the application already, when you feed this data into a system,
अरे प्लास्टिक प्रोटेक्शन ना लैमिनेशन वाला अल्टीमा प्रोटेक्ट एक्सटीरियर पेंट रोज बृष्टि और धूलों के आज तेरा
जाओ प्लास्टिक गायब करो
गो 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 गायब
yes, can I continue?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, please.
Thank you. So when my application has a content like date of birth, son of, email ID, Aadhaar, PAN number, blah blah, all these things are there. Now why can't system, before adding me as a customer, why can't the system compare whether there is any other date of birth, any other son of same, any other address same, any other email ID, phone number, Aadhaar, PAN number, and if those things are common to the new application, the system should stop and ask for further documentation before it creates. But such kind of system we are not seeing in any of the nationalized banks. As Abhay clearly says, it's a part of preventive control. Yes, rightly said, Mr. Abhay. As a preventive control, all the banks, before they create a customer, the system should check within the database. The system should check whether the address is same son of, date of birth, or phone number, or so many other things. What it is similar, which indicates a person. The variables which are indicating a person, those variables should be mapped, compared. If there is a similarity, the system should stop. That is preventive control. As Madhuresh sir is asking, is it available in private banks? To my knowledge, Kotak Bank is having such a system. I think even HDFC has such a system, wherein before they take up, you know very well, if you walk into Kotak Bank or private bank for asking them to create an account, they say you wait for 2-3 days. We will not immediately give an account. They'll ask you to wait for 2-3 days, meaning these meaning these 2-3 days they validate this application with various other databases, and then they create. And if the name is already available, if the group is already available, they mark it as a group. And this system is not there in our PSU banks. And because of that, you are not creating this as a group. Okay, leave it. This is not you are not filling. First of all, sir, is this field mandatory? Now, many of us do the concurrent audit. Many of us by this time have done the many audits, branch audits. Have we ever tried to ask the bank whether this field is mandatory? This field is not mandatory. This is not mandatory. Because this is not mandatory, you just skip like tally. In tally, what do? We say conveyance account is created. Conveyance account is created. Under, if you say fixed assets also, it will take and then process. What do we say? Account under a head, control A. Then it will create an account. In the similar fashion, even in CBS, there are so many fields which are not mandatory. They are not mandatory, and hence these data is not captured. Not only this data is captured, because this is not captured, the transactions that are happening within the account, like what we have seen here, the transactions that are happening within the groups, the system is not able to prevent, because you are not writing whether this is a group or not. I hope you understand. The way this is a very, very important control. This is the most dangerous issue, challenging issue. Even today, sir, I'm not talking about 2014-15. Even today, banks are losing so much of money, but this aspect is not taken care. And I suggest next time when you go to the bank as a concurrent audit, or as a statutory audit, or as a forensic audit, or as a revenue audit, please highlight this issue. Tell them if this is controlled, related party transactions can be controlled. if related party transactions are controlled, most amount of frauds can be controlled. So this is one issue. Okay. Now let's go into the another issue. Another issue what we are trying to talk is like self withdrawal. You can see the self withdrawals out of how many? In 40,000 rows, self withdrawals, as you can see bottom, there are 200 crores, 202 crores, I think even still. This is 124 crores. 124 crores of cash has been withdrawn. You can see all 9999 lakhs of cash is withdrawn at the year end, generally at the year end, month end. All 99 lakhs of cash is withdrawn. From where? From which account? All this is withdrawn from the CC accounts. All this is withdrawn from the CC accounts. And we know very well, in the loan sanction letter, you have one condition that the cash should not be withdrawn. We have seen that. Many times we have seen that. And in spite of that condition, bank is allowing huge cash to be withdrawn. Meaning that the controls are weak. Where is that control here? The control is here. Cash exception limit, debit, and cash exception limit, credit. Cash exception limit, debit, and credit is not mandatory, and you can see here, this is configured to 1 lakh crores, meaning if you are not restricting this number of digits, 1 lakh crores of cash can be deposited and 1 lakh crores of cash can be withdrawn. If it is a savings bank account, yes, you have authority to deposit and withdraw your own cash. When it is a loan, you can deposit back the cash, no problem. But when it is a loan account, how are you allowed to withdraw so much of cash? And that too, where there are digital payments, that are authorized today and used even Palli Batana vendors on the street, irrespective of the age, old age woman is accepting digital payments today. And beggars near the temple, they are having digital payment scan codes. That is a development. And now the banker, when we have asked the banker about this, the banker is saying, sir, these are all, you see, these are all cotton agriculture related traders. So we have to allow. Now you can, I hope now you understand whether their reply is correct or not. Meaning, this is not, I am not saying that this has happened somewhere 15, 20 years back. I am talking about the data which is relevant, which is last year. And many of us are doing concurrent audits. They agree even today, the cash is withdrawn in many banks. Meaning what? The controls here is not properly fixed, validated. Okay, having said this, where should I report? Now, where should I report? Now, I have observed this. Now, where should I report this? I have to report this in two places. That is, one in the LFAR, so under LFAR, where should I report? Control F, purpose. Yeah. Proper systems and procedures ensure data integrity relating to all data inputs which are used for MAS. Whether they have been properly configured is one thing. Next, we have seen about the related party. We have seen here funds especially routed through the related party and shell company transactions, irrespective of fraud cases and all. In so many places, this issue comes up, whether the purpose for which loan has been given, utilized. Somewhere some question here talks about whether the loan has been used for the purpose for which it is sanctioned. We have a question. Let me just take. Yeah, in the loans and advances. Yes. Non-registration now lien marked. Whether the funds have been periodical, bank statements have been submitted. Somewhere we have that. Okay. Yes. So we have questions on whether there is the purpose for which loan is being given has been used or not, has been diverted, has been cash has been withdrawn, or related party transactions. We have questions in this LFAR. Further, we also have to look into the IFC, and this is the IFC, internal financial controls, where internal financial controls is with respect to the risks. Now, nowhere the bank is talking about the risk in party account. Nowhere the bank is talking about the cash withdrawals and so on. Let us just see here. See, nowhere there is a question on cash withdrawals. And we have seen, not only we have seen, we know that the 45 instances of early warning signal is talking about is there any related party, whether the cash has been withdrawn, the funds have been diverted. 45 instances of red flags have been provided, and for that there is no question in this risk control matrix. Now what we are trying to, yes, it's a diversion of fund. Okay. Now what we are trying to talk about in this is, as I said in my opening statement, we are signing SA 700 as true and fair. We are signing IFC as controls are working proper. We are giving LFAR comments on the systems and processes. We are certifying various 45 number of statements we are signing. And all these things are generated by the CBS and the controls are weak. So that is the reason why we are trying to understand screen by screen. Okay. Having said this, should I have to read in this manner all the 3000 screens? No, not required. All the 3000 screens we need not read and analyze. If we can do at least minimum of 40 screens. What are these minimum of 40 screens? These 40 screens are account opening, loan account opening, and LC account opening, because these are the two major frauds happening. So if we can look at the screens, the way in which the data is captured in all these two types of operations, maximum number of screens that you can find in these two operations are only 40 screens. In all these 40 screens, there are so many fields like this. In all these 40 screens, there are so many fields like this. What these fields do, this fields captures the information, and this information only is provided to us as a part of MIS statement, or certain fields data is captured and that data is used for calculations, like say interest rate, like say date of birth is taken to calculate age, and if age is a particular thing, the rate of interest may be increased. So certain fields are captured for the purpose of calculations. Certain fields are captured for the purpose of management information report. So what we should understand is whether the data that is entered into these fields, we have asked a question. Many of them have said, every time an amount is entered in the field, the system should prevent a wrong data entering into. In this way, we should start asking 3 questions at every field. We should start asking 3 questions. So let me write those 3 questions as I go on explaining. Let us write that 3 questions. Question number 1. What is the probability of data entry error? Where we should ask these questions for each field. For each field in the screen. What is the probability of data entry error? Number 1. 2. What is the impact of wrong entry in that field. Let me take an example. Okay, let me complete this. Next. What are the controls? Controls are preventive controls, detective controls, corrective controls to prevent occurrence of errors. 4. Okay, so these are the 3 questions that we should ask for each field in this screen. Let us start that on 1 or 2 fields. Number 1. Is there a possibility of entering wrong name in this field? So can members start responding? Yes, I am asking first question. While entering the name here, is there a possibility of entering a wrong name? Yes, wrong name can be entered. Very good. Thank you very much. Second question. Second question. What is the impact of wrong entry in the field? If sir, name is wrongly entered in the banking software, what is the problem, sir? Can someone respond? What is the impact of wrong name getting entered in the system? Can someone respond? Checks will not be cleared. Okay. Financial impact on the balance sheet. Thank you, Sanjay, for group not linked. Yes. PAN will not. KYC. Abhay has rightly said KYC guidelines are not adhered. Any other, please? Same person may have 2 accounts. Anand has rightly said. But what is the impact on the balance sheet? Other customer ledgers will be impacted. Any other impact on the IRAC norms? Any other impact on the, yes, Balaji has rightly said, if one account becomes bad, all the other accounts also should become bad. That is possible when a customer is having multiple accounts with same customer ID, then that is possible. Now, in this present case, if name is wrongly entered and there is no system preventive control, it is only a manual maker and checker control. So in a manual preventive system preventive controls are weak, and that is allowing multiple names to go in. Does it affect financial statements? Yes. In case of NPA, the system cannot identify all the accounts as NPA. Because of that, the loans and advances are overstated, profit is overstated, NPAs are understated, loss is understated. So Merinal says, what about maker and checker? We know very well. Okay, I'll demonstrate what happens to the maker and checker. Yeah. Can someone comment on the screen? Can someone comment on the screen? Can someone comment on the screen? Yes, Deepak Agarwal has rightly said, multiple customer IDs for same person. Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Amounts, we have nothing to do with amounts as of now. Now, multiple customer, the same customer called Radha K and K Radha, having multiple different customer IDs. Sir, more than that, if you can see here, the person, the name what I've said here is a staff in that branch. Staff is having multiple customer IDs in the branch. Now you can think about what is happening to maker and checker controls. Now this is not one thing I'm saying. There are multiple. You may say that this is somewhere else. This may be 10 years old example, you may think. But I have an example of last year. I have an example of last year. Multiple customer IDs. Same name, customer IDs. Now I have hidden this data here, mobile number, date of birth, father name, signatory, address, PAN, Aadhaar. I have hidden this information being sensitive information. I've just marked it. This is this talks about only one CIF is allowed. Yes, Pankaj, that's what we are now discussing again and again. The reason is the controls at this point is weak. So what we are trying to say here, at every field, ask these three questions. Possibility of data entry. Okay, how many screens are there? Maximum 2 operations. Maximum 25 screens. That's all. And 2 operations I have already stated to you. And example we are discussing here. Okay. Sir, what is if something goes wrong in creating a constitution? We have seen in one bank branch, the individual is a public sector employee taking a loan, public sector undertaking employee taking a loan. The constitution they have created as PSU. You can understand. Then occupation. If these fields are taken as a wrong, I hope majority of them will agree with me that there are certain products in the bank where the IRAC provisioning changes depending upon the constitution and occupation. Like say, for example, housing loan of less than 25 lakhs given to a farmer or XYZ or to a particular community or a backward caste. There are certain conditions for valuation, for IRAC norms or for provisioning or for Basel norms. If this is wrongly captured, all those statements, what we are signing, those things as true and correct. Remember, balance sheet is true and fair, certificates is true and correct. So I am worried about this, and hence I say, these three questions on all these screens. Okay. Having understood this, let's move forward with other examples again. So we have understood about the control weaknesses. Now we said we will be talking about internal financial controls. Certificate has to be given. So let us take one or two, one product example, agriculture loan, one product, agriculture gold loans. Let us take a product. And as I said, this is one certificate we will be signing. This certificate we will be signing for internal financial controls. This is one bank. One bank has given this format. Another bank has given this format. You can see here branch head comments, statutory branch auditors comments. You can see here another bank. This is one bank. They only say branch auditor's response. No branch management comment is not there. This bank is not interested. Let us look at another bank which has given this format. They have described what is risk. They have described what is control environment. They have described what is the risk. This is one bank. All the 12 banks in India are having different formats for internal financial controls, whereas Institute of Chartered Accountants of India has recommended through its guidance note on implementation of IFC read with Standards on Auditing SA 315 as an implementation guide. They have recommended only one format: risk control matrix. What is the risk? Process. What is the process? What is the sub-process? What is the risk? What is the causal factors? What is the control? How controls are? And what is its impact? But one bank is not even bothered about risk, least bothered about talking risk. Another bank is just described about risk and control, that's all. It has not talked about how the risk will be. 12 banks in India are trying to get the certificates in a 12 different way. How is RBI permitting this? What is ICAI role, or what is our chartered accountant's role? What is my role as a chartered accountant here? Permit me to say, and I'm sorry to say, and I'm very sorry to say, some of the chartered accountants, they are not even reading what they are signing. This report is already prepared by the branch management, and they are affixing the chartered accountant's DSC signature. Very sorry to say. And some of the chartered accountants not aware how many times the digital signature and how many statements the digital signature is affixed. I'm very sorry to say. And in all these places, the certificates read by the RBI is under the impression that the internal financial controls are working very well, fantastic. And our brother concurrent auditors are also giving such kind of reports where you and I know what kind of reports are going in. And the impression that the RBI is getting by reading the concurrent audit reports and the LFAR and the IFC control statements, what we are giving, the RBI is under the impression that 100% bank branch auditors has been brought down to 80 and has been now brought down to 70 from 24. So only 70% of the advances to be covered under audit. And slowly they say if controls are working very well, and they have given a liberty, RBI has given a liberty to the branch, to the bank board and audit committees to decide which branches to be audited. If we, the chartered accountants, continue to affix digital signatures blindly, it is not far away that the bank audits will follow the GST audits. Where the GST audits have gone, to that place only this bank audits will go. Meaning, in the days to come, we, the chartered accountants, are killing the opportunities. We ourselves are telling the RBI that banks are working very well. You don't give bank audits from next year. We ourselves are telling this. Then why should we blame ICI, or why should we blame CCM Central Council members? Why should we blame RBI? Why should we blame XYZ? I'm sorry to say this. Because of few or some chartered accountants, majority of the chartered accountants are losing their avenues. It is for all the chartered accountants to think uniformly, and it is for all the chartered accountants to give a single language, use a single language, not limited to yes, no, all right. We need to write tons and tons of material about what we are observing. Sir, in spite of LFAR is asking so much of comment. In spite of LFAR is asking, please give detailed in respect of lease finding, in respect of comments, adverse features considered significant in top standard large advances which need management attention, not applicable. Management, the fun is, before I go to the branch management has already filled my LFAR, already filled the IFC, already filled my MOC as nil. That is the pathetic situation today. And now every branch has some or other issues. Some are. It says in respect of advances examined by you, have you come across the cases of deficiencies? Drawing power beyond the limits, inadequate insurance coverage. If you look at the branch internal inspector's report, on every account, he writes not less than 3 pages of deficiencies. Branch inspection report, if you look into, branch inspectors are writing more than 3 to 4 pages on one account. We can simply copy paste those observations in LFAR. Even that we are not doing it. We have much more content to write. The pathetic situation is yes, no, all right is filling. And we are just donating our DSC signatures to the branches. And sorry to say, my next generation chartered accountants have no work to do in the days to come. Okay, having said that, coming back to where we are now, we are trying to understand the control weaknesses again and again on this file. So let's come back to process flow of gold loans. Right. I said in this place here, this is what I want you to again recollect. Manual and IT dependent procedures on CBS. Come back. Gold loan. One of the bank is saying applications are accepted. I'll be happy to see the comments. I'll be very happy to see the comments from the members here. Have you ever seen receipt of application in CBS or manual? Is receipt of application, loan application, is it manual or? Thank you very much. Now, pre-scrutiny of application, is it manual or system? Manual. Gold appraiser service is manual or system? Next. Sanction authority go through the appraisal note in detailed and documents and sanction loan, manual or system? Now, like this, sir, there are 15 processes. Sir, there are 15 processes. All these 15 processes, except for opening account, is CBS. Except for this, all the 15 processes are manual. Okay, we have come up to this process here. You can see this question here. Sanction authority go through the loan appraisal in detail along with documents and sanction loan. Next process is asking whether CIF, whether client has already a CIF. I would expect the members to respond whether this question is required. Yes or no? If no, why? Why should you ask this question? What is that we have said here? What is that we have said here? Preventive control. Why should you ask this question whether client has a CIF? When you take the application itself, you run through the processes and find out whether this person is already there into this. And whom are you asking this question? And if you're asking this question, an agricultural gold loan to an uneducated person who doesn't understand the alphabets, what is C, what is I, what is F, that uneducated farmer to whom you are asking what is CIF, he is worried. If he says I have a CIF, he thinks if I don't provide the CIF, he thinks that loan नहीं मिलेगा. अगर लोन नहीं मिलता है तो ये बोलता है लेके आओ CIF. अगर CIF नहीं है बोले तो लेके आओ बोलता है, लेके आओ बोले तो मेरे पास नहीं है. So he said, instead of that, he says, no, sir, I don't have CIF. Then he will create it. And that is how we have seen, multiple CIFs are created. So what I'm saying here is, sir, what I'm trying to highlight here is the processes, the 15 processes for a simple gold loan. Gold loan is not even 1% of the total advances. Maybe 20% of the advances, max 20% of the advances are gold loans. For that one product we are discussing so much. You can imagine how many products are there in the bank and what kind of controls there should be existing. And in all those controls, what is that I am writing as a chartered accountant? Leave that. Come back to this. Come back to this here again. Now you can see all the 15 processes here. You can see all the 15 processes here. Now, okay, bank has identified risk, controls. Let us see one risk only. I think it's better someone can control that. Risk identification. Bank is saying document collection is a risk identified. Risk of incomplete, inadequate, incorrect documents received from applications. Bank has identified this as a risk. So if this risk occurs, how it will be? Unavailability of required documents as KYC, gold ornament, take delivery letter, all these things will not be there. Negligence of officials. This is a risk. Okay. Up to this, it is saying risk. Then what is the control? What should be the control? What bank is saying is to mitigate this risk, we have these controls. That is, they have a DP note, gold ornament, take delivery letter, witness letter, copy of arrangement letter, 2 photographs, memorandum of gold ornaments deposit, copy of proof evidencing agriculture activity, customer details, blah, blah, blah. All these things we are collecting it. You should be collected as a control. Now, is this collection, when should you do it? At every transaction. Is this control manual or system control? Manual control. Now, is this preventive control or detective control? Bank is saying nothing. Okay. Is this manual maker and checker control? Maker and checker control. Manual maker and checker control. So up to this, bank is saying this is our control. Now, what is the impact on the financial statements if that risk of ineffective documentation, like no photographs taken, appraisal is not properly done, signatures are not taken? What is the impact on financial statements? Bank is saying there is no impact on income and expenditure, no impact on assets and liabilities, no impact on presentation. I would like to look at the members' response. Is this true? Will you accept that defective documents will not impact income and expenditure, balance sheet and presentation? Will it not impact? Will it not impact? Yes. Thank you, Vijay and Sanjay, for your active participation. It motivates me to talk. It will impact. But what is bank saying? It will not impact. Okay, let's come back to the case. This is a case study. One bank has given a complaint to the CBI stating that multiple gold loans were availed by 246 members, 319 accounts involving 669 lakhs. Gold loan bags were not traceable. Most of the loan applications do not bear photos, not adhered to KYC, signatures as required by the bank. Signature of borrowers are differing. 37 cases, gold loan sanctions were of more than the value of gold ornaments. There is a loss of public money to the bank to an extent of 707 lakhs. Whether all these risks have occurred? Risk is there, risk is there. Whether risk has occurred, occurred. Whether loss has occurred to the bank, loss has occurred to the bank. But how dare bank is saying we don't? This doesn't apply. And to this, our chartered accountants are saying, we agree with the bank. This is one bank has given this detailed. Look at this bank, what it is talking about. This bank is not at all talking about its impact on the financial statements. Then this is not a risk control matrix at all. This is not a certificate that we can give at all. This is not a format at all. It is something like a client is asking me to sign a company's balance sheet in the T form. Can we sign it? Can we sign a balance sheet which is given to us in the T form for a corporate? No. Same way, the banks are bulldozing the chartered accountants by giving funny statements, which is not in accordance with the guidance note. Not in accordance with the guidance note. The central statutory auditor should take a lead in these cases. SBA. The another bank is least bothered to talk about the risk, and it is least bothered to say about its impact on the financial statements. So this is what right from my beginning I'm saying. Right from the beginning I'm saying. Manual procedures and IT dependent procedures are sitting on the core banking software. And this core banking software doesn't have preventive controls. And it has other banking external softwares and the infrastructure. And this is generating the accounts and MIS on which we are saying auditor's opinion. Now you can understand. I think you can understand the impact. Now you may ask me, is there any proof in the public domain? Is there any proof in the public domain that what I am saying is true? That they are not, the core banking software and other softwares are not talking together? Is there a proof? Yes. Let me take you to that proof. This is the SBI balance sheet. SBI audit report. This is SBI annual report for 2022. This is a part of key audit matters. As a part of key audit matters, they are saying, you can read this. Identification of performing and non-performing advances involves establishment of proper mechanism. Bank accounts for all the transactions related to advances in IT system, CBS, which identifies whether the advances are performing or non-performing. I'm very happy up to this. But it says further, NPA account, NPA classification and calculation of provision is done through another IT system. When your own CBS is able to identify performing and non-performing, why are you going into CCDP? Not only CCDP, please read it. NPA classification and calculation of provision is done through another IT system with CCDP and other process. What is this other process? When you have written another application, when you have written CBS, what has prevented the auditors from writing this other process? Is this Excel? Now, who should ask this question? Should the regulator RBI ask this question? Should the audit committee ask this question? And this report is given by whom? 13 auditors who have done 15% of the advances. Mind it, 13 auditors who have done 15% of the audit, 15% of the audit are giving an opinion, whereas 65% of the audit is done by the branch auditors, and these branch auditors, their opinion. What is their opinion? What is their opinion? You and I know what is their opinion. Okay. When this is a key audit matter, now the auditors have to say, if this is a key audit matter, what is that they have done? What they have done, they are saying, existence, we have relied on internal audit report, systems audit report, credit audit report, concurrent audit report. They are saying here, our audit approach towards advances with respect to blah, blah, blah is following. They have looked into, they are not even, we don't know what they are saying here. They are saying our audit procedure towards advances with reference to issued by audit procedures. What audit procedures? Did you read? Did you validate those reports? Did you ask questions about those? They say, advances provisioning according to IRAC in respect of branches allotted to us, we have relied on concurrent audit. Finally, they say, we have relied on branch auditors. On what? On this. Now, 15% of the advances audited by the 13 auditors are giving true and fair opinion on the total balance sheet, because 65% of the advances audited by the branch auditors, their content is simply yes, no, all right. And hence RBI is saying, band karo ye bank audits. If सब ठीक ठाक है बैंकिंग में, ऑडिट का क्या जरूरत है? We are prompting this question to the regulators. I hope you understand what I'm talking. Coming back again. So we have talked about agriculture loans, and I have demonstrated to you the risk control matrix of not all the products, a very small product we have taken, and we are certifying so many products. Okay. In this way, if you go on talking like this, even 6 hours of time will not be sufficient, even 10 hours of time will not be sufficient. Okay. So what to do now? Next, we'll take up term loans and then close, because I have a flight at 8:30. So I have to leave by 6:15. So please permit me, I'll cover in next 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. Please permit me to close this session. Okay. So we'll try to validate this. Term loans. So what we have to do with the term loans, I'm writing here. Obtain 12 months of term loan jottings. You may be asking me, sir, how do I generate these reports? please go to ICAI website, and March 2023 journal, there is an excellent article on various CBS commands, balance sheet wise, or rather LFAR wise. These are the LFAR contents and what reports, what menus you can use. So jotting, balances jotting report. So there is no point in myself reading out all these things, reading like a Bible or Bhagavad Gita. There is no point in reading all this and wasting your time. So this is there on the ICI website. You can download it immediately and start putting use to this. And that is how we generate the reports. And those reports are what is being presented to you now before you. So in that way, I have taken 12 months term loan statements. I have taken 12 months term loan statements, March, April, May, June, July, blah, blah, blah. And I have combined all into one place. After combining all into one place, now I am trying to see, put a pivot table, and every month I am trying to see for all the 10,000 loan accounts or so, or 9,000 or 1,000 loan accounts. I am just looking at whether the balance is, whether the closing balance is diminishing or increasing. Now you can see here, first 4 months, the loan amount is increasing, 379, 384, 387, 391, meaning it has already become NPA here. So in this way, if you can arrange the data in this way further, because this content has so many contents here, interest rate, theoretical balance, NPA, EMI is due, EMI, whatnot, all this content is there. I am trying to analyze each field. Now, instead of outstanding here, let me take the interest rate, because somewhere in the LFAR, you have to talk about the interest rate. So I pull the interest rate and put it here. Now, by taking the interest rate, you can see here for this loan account, the interest rate, for this loan account, the interest rate, you can see here is constant and suddenly increased in the month of September. So whether everyone interest rate has changed in the September month, for everyone it has increased, or only for few it has increased and only for few it is decreased, you can find out for all the accounts in one shot. Whether increase and decrease is uniform among all the account holders, because you are able to combine all the 12-month statements into one place through pivot table, this is possible. Not only that, there are so many experts here who have done valuation course, and in that valuation course, most of you could have done the financial modeling formulas, PV, NPER, and so on and so on. So these are few NPER. With this, you can find out for how many months the loan has been given. The loan has been given for 81 months, but here, as on the date of audit, number of months lapsed is 114. This itself is clear that the account has become NPA. Not only that, from the date of the loan till date of audit, you can find out how much of interest he could have serviced. CUM. This is the formula. And you can find out from the ledger what is the total actual amount serviced, meaning this is the formula based audit interest collection. This is CBS interest collection. Let me write this. CBS interest collection. Now, the difference between audit collection and CBS interest collection, you validate, and if that amount is significant, validate each case for NPA. Similarly, cumulative principal, CUMPRINC. The total amount of principal collected from the date of loan till date. Now you have a theoretical, now you can find out the theoretical balance. What is theoretical balance? The loan amount minus what it should have been collected by this time is a theoretical balance. Now this theoretical balance you compare again with the closing balance. Closing balance as on the date of CBS, as per the CBS report. Now you compare. Now I have done all those in this yellow colored range. This formula is datative. This formula is NPER. This formula is cumulative interest. This formula is cumulative principal. This is audit outstanding. And this is difference. And if this difference is greater than 3 EMIs, that EMIs are already given here. And if this difference is greater than EMI, 3 EMIs, all those things are none other than NPAs. Whereas bank is given that EMI is due and EMI is paid, which is nowhere matching with our calculations. The reason is in this particular case, the bank has merged with the another bank in 1 year, and in the subsequent years, the branches also merged in this. And when the branches and banks have merged, the format and the content are not properly migrated. Because of that, all these difficulties have arisen. And this is what is my understanding. Now, the time is not permitting me to go beyond this. Time is not permitting me to go beyond this, as I have to catch a flight. I am right now at Ahmedabad. So till 4 o'clock, I have taken a session there. And after that, immediately, so there was from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, I have taken that session. And then I came here. I have taken this session. And now I have to run to catch the flight. So kindly pardon me for the inconvenience covered cost for not keeping up my promise. Next time we'll try to do more justice. Thank you very much for your patient listening.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a great session. We are very much delighted for joining your session. And on behalf of Views Exchange and other participants who has joined the session, I would like to thank you, sir, for enlightening us on the practical tips of audit in regards to bank audit, and also made an understanding of banking system documentation and other data storage methods where we need to give extra effort, or we need to give extra cautiousness for checking the same.
Yeah.
And also give us an elaborate understanding, as you told us, as bank audit, there is no sufficient time for bank audit understanding, because iske liye jitna bhi time de, it will be less. So once again, I would like to thank you on behalf of all the participants for give us the time for your session, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
But
you so.
yeah, but I don't get time is, I don't think I will. We have an excuse because you have seen now all the term loan statements I could validate in less than 10 minutes. Be it 10,000 rows of accounts or be it 1,000 rows of term loan accounts, all the 12 months data I could able to take it, and I am able to drill down to the most serious cases in no time. Now from here you have to take those cases and let someone investigate into going into the account copies whether they are real or not.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a doubt. Actually, whenever we ask the data to them in an Excel format, they take a very long time to provide us data in Excel.
See, yes, that is a trick played by the bankers. That is a trick played by the
Yeah.
bankers. What we should do is the day when they send us the audit appointment letter, in the audit engagement letter itself, we should make it clear that you will be providing me these soft copies. Only then we will start coming to the branch. And that is how we have been doing it all these years. I can demonstrate, not now, for the past 2001 onwards, I am having all the bank data with me. Not today. From 2000 onwards, I can demonstrate to you the Excel files that I have taken from the banks. Not one bank, many banks. So that should not be an excuse. And you cannot ask me to train how to take data from banker. That is a drama you have to play with them.
Okay, sir, I understood.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. On behalf of Views Exchange, I would like to thank all the participants also to attend this session and making it a success. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Permit me to leave the session.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
I thank one and all. I thank one and all for their excellent interaction. It really made me more energetic, because my energy was drained in the earlier session, but I was not in a position to take. But when people started responding, that motivated me to present more. So I'll share the, let me try to add the presentation. Let me just see whether the presentation can be added in the group itself, here itself in the chart. Whether I'll see, file. I'm trying to hide it. I'm just trying to attach the file.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, that presentation has come. Let me just also try that Excel file is bigger one. Let me just see whether I can add this Excel file. once you log out, before you log out, kindly download and then log out. Otherwise, you cannot able to do anything.
Yes, sir. We'll download and we'll share the same with the YouTube video also.
Yeah, you can. You can
Yeah,
also.
we'll share the same in the YouTube link, sir.
Yes, yes. Yes, the Excel file and the presentation file is uploaded. You can download it and then you can log out. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
How do I download this file?